Theology in 3 minutes. Topic: The Cosmological Argument, Part 2. Part 1 covered the basics of the uncaused causer and the unmoved mover. This part will focus on common counterarguments and rebuttals. Argument number 1. If God came before the Big Bang, then what came before God? This question demonstrates a fundamental misunderstanding of the argument as presented, and probably rightfully so, as any theist debater who used the phrasing "God came before the Big Bang" is setting not only themselves, but also the skeptic up for failure. The skeptic is right to point out that God cannot come before the Big Bang, as it represents the starting point of linear time. However, whatever force or entity which created time must be a force existing outside of time, as nothing from within a closed system can create itself, and once you've reached the point in the chain of causality, where you are outside of linear time, that's when the rules change. As outside the boundaries of cause and effect, there is no such concept as before nor after, so there cannot be a before God any more than God can be before time. God, by necessity, must be a timeless entity. The correct phrasing of the argument is that God caused time, not came before time. This sounds like cheap semantics, but the distinction is important when discussing concepts of this kind. Argument number 2. The Big Bang could have been caused by a natural material event. At best, this just kicks the can down the road. At worst, this goes against the laws of physics in multiple ways, as well as falling for the same basic misunderstanding of the argument as the earlier question. Just as how the Big Bang was the start of time, it is also the start of matter and space. The idea that some materialistic event is the cause of the creation of matter itself is just as flawed as claiming that anything came before linear time. Even if we find the possibility of some minor event which preceded the Big Bang, even to that material event, the same law still applies. The law of the conservation of matter states, matter cannot be created nor destroyed, merely transformed, and yet matter has been created at least once. This one exception to the rule must exist outside of the system in which the rule cannot be broken. Thus, the force or entity which created matter must itself be immaterial. Argument number 3, the multiverse theory. This theory comes in 2 forms, layered and parallel. First off, the parallel multiverse doesn't even answer the fundamental question of what created the universe. It does not matter whether our universe is the only universe or is but one of an infinite number of universes. The same logic applies, something is creating all of these universes. Now the layered multiverse proposes that our universe is one that exists as a bubble, inside of a much larger parent universe. Unfortunately, this doesn't answer the question either. It again, just kicks the can down the road. Even if we need to move up one layer, the same question still applies to that layer as well. What caused that universe? It doesn't matter how many layers you must ascend in the hierarchy of the multiverse, eventually you must reach the uppermost layer, and then ask, what caused all of it? And the only logical conclusion is that whether one universe or many, everything had to come from something that is powerful enough to make a universe. The only logical answer to all 3 of these questions is thus, whatever started it all must be a force or entity that is 1. Timeless, 2. Immaterial, and 3. All-powerful. An entity that religion has had a name for all along.